Hi there! In this video, we are going to learn about mixture problems. So what are mixture problems? They're a type of story problem where we have two objects and they're given two pieces of information about both of those objects. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our two original objects, we're going to mix them together, and we're going to create some final new product of which we're trying to find some information about, or one or two of the initial objects that they give us. We use a chart to organize all this information and to ultimately help us solve our problem. So the really best way for me to explain to you how to do this is to do some examples. I have 3 examples prepared for you because there's really kind of 3 mixture problems that you'll get into here. And I just wanted to make sure you could kind of see all 3 of them to hopefully help you with the ones that you're working on. So let's get into it. Oh, you'll also notice that over here on the right hand side, I have this calculator open. This is the Desmos Scientific Calculator. It's an app that you can download on your phone. It's also free if you go to www.desmos.com/scientific. This is a really good calculator to use because it allows you to type in the math the way that you would write it out to show your work. Not you would have to do like backwards or how you have to type things in on your phone calculator. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, first example says, at the movie theater, child admission is $5.90 and adult admission is $9.40. 173 tickets were sold for a total sales of $1,342.70. How many child tickets were sold that day? Okay, so you'll see that they're giving us information about children and adults. The information that they give us is cost, and then they also talk about number of tickets. So the 2 pieces of information that I have things for are children, so I'm going to write up here child and adult. Okay, and then what they give me information about I put on the left hand side. We got money, we have number of tickets, and then we have our total. And oftentimes over here you have to have a total column too, which we'll fill in. Whoops, that's a really bad line. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so we're going to fill in the information that they have. So it tells us at the movie theater, child admission is $5.90. And adults cost $9.40. 173 tickets were sold total, so that means I have to write the total number of tickets to be 173, and my total sales, which means number of tickets times the price of all the tickets, is equal to $1342.70. Okay. So you'll see that they don't give you all the information to fill in the chart. So now you have to think logically about what's happening in the problem to fill in the rest of the boxes. Our goal is to figure out what goes in this total box because that's how we're going to, that's the boxes that we're going to use to write our equation. Okay, so we're not going to fill in this box here because there is no like combo child adult ticket price. They give us the total amount of sales, so I don't have to worry about this box. There will be a problem later that we do have to fill in this box, and I think you'll be able to see the difference. It's the last problem. Okay, the other thing that we have to think about is next part we're going to try and fill in is number of tickets. So we're going to look at this pink box here, and we'll pick this blue box here. Okay, now they ask me how many child tickets were sold that day. I don't know. I'm going to call that X because that way I don't have that. That's what I'm trying to find. So that's what I'm going to call my variable. Okay, now how do I figure out what goes in the adult number of ticket box? We know that the total number of tickets is 173. So let's pretend that I sold 10 child tickets. That means that I sold 163 adult tickets because the number of tickets for adults plus children has to equal 173. So that means that I have 173 minus however many tickets I sold for kids is going to be how many tickets I have for adults. Okay. To get what goes in the green boxes, the total, I have to take the amount of money times the number of tickets will give me my total price for children's tickets. So I multiply these. 590 times X. I have to zoom this in so I can fit it all in my box. The number that goes in this box here, I multiply how much my tickets cost times the number of tickets in my box. Okay, now if you think about it, the number of the total price for children's tickets plus the total price for adult tickets has to equal the total ticket sales. So I'm going to zoom out this. I'm going to shrink down my table so I have enough space to do my problem, to do the math. So I'm going to use my bottom, like I said, my bottom green to write my equation. So I say that, I'm going to zoom this in also so that I have some more space so that you can see. So we are at $5.90 times X, 90 cents, plus $9.40 times 173 minus X, because this price right here is the total cost for all my child tickets. This price right here is the total cost for all my adult tickets. So when I add them together, it better be my total sales, which is $1342.70. Now I have to solve for X. So first thing I have to do is I have to distribute this $9.40 out. So I get 590 X plus, and then I can use my calculator over here. Whoops, I hit some buttons along the way. So 940 times 173 is equal to 1626.20 minus 940 X equals 1342.70. All I did is I distributed that 940. Okay, now I have to combine together my like terms. My like terms are my x's here, 590 and negative. So I combine those together. So do line 590 minus 940 is going to give me negative $3.50 X plus 1626.20 equals 1342.70. Okay, now I have to get the X on the side by itself. So first thing I have to do is I'm going to subtract 1626.20. This gives me negative 350X equals, and I got 1342.70 minus 1626.20 gives me negative 283.50. Whoop, 50. And to get X on a side by itself, I have to divide by negative 350. So I get X is equal to negative 283.50 divided by negative 350 gives me 81. So that means I sold 81 child tickets. Okay, next problem. Tammy's coffee shop makes a blend of coffee that is a mixture of two types of coffee. Jamaican Me Crazy costs $5.60 per pound, and the medium roast costs $4.50 per pound. This month's blend used 3 times as many pounds of Jamaican Me Crazy than medium roast, for a total of $639. How many pounds of Jamaican Me Crazy were used? Okay, so I'm going to set up my chart. We have our 2 types of coffee, so Jamaican Me Crazy, and we have our medium roast. And they give us information about how much it costs and how many pounds we have. and then we have to have a total column for each. Okay. All right, so here we go. So let's figure out what they have. So we have Jamaican Me Crazy, coffee, and medium roast. Oh, stop. And medium roast. We have our money, $5.60 per pound and $4.50 per pound. And then we have 3 times as many pounds of Jamaican Me Crazy than medium roast, and then they give us information about more money. Okay, so let's fill in what we have. We have Jamaican Me Crazy costs $5.60. And we have medium roast costs $4.50. This month's okay. And oops, I should have highlighted this one in green, sorry. The money should be green. And the total sales, $639. Okay. Now, it says this month's blend used 3 times as many pounds of Jamaican Me Crazy than medium roast. Okay, so I don't know how much medium roast I used, but I used 3 times more Jamaican Me Crazy than I did medium roast. All right, so that's all the information that it tells me. I don't have to worry about filling in these boxes because they gave me the information of total sales. Total sales will be number of how much it costs per pound times the pounds of coffee that you have. So again, just like last time, we're going to fill in this total box by multiplying these together. So the totals for Jamaican Me Crazy, I'm going to take $5.60 per pound, and I used 3x pounds. For my total for my medium roast, it's $4.50 a pound, and I used X amount of pounds. Okay, so now to figure out and write my equation, I'm going to use everything in the green box. So down here, I'm going to say I have the total amount of money for Jamaican Me Crazy is how much it costs per pound times the number of pounds, plus, which is this right here. Then I have to add to it whatever the medium roast is. So the medium roast we know costs $4.50 a pound, and I used X pounds. Total together, it's $639. So now I have to multiply to solve, and get X on a side by itself. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and say 5.6 times 3 is going to give me 16.8x plus 4.5x equals 639. Now because these are both x's, I can combine together my like terms and say that I get all the x's on a side by itself already. So I have 16.8 plus 4.5 gives me 21.3. So I have 21.3x is equal to 639. And then I have to get x on a side by itself. To do that, I have to divide by 21.3 because I have to cancel out the multiplication. So I get x is equal to 639 divided by 21.3 gives me 30. Okay, now x is equal to 30. So if we go back up here, they wanted to know how many pounds of Jamaican Me Crazy were used. And we've said that x is equal to 30, so that this value right here is equal to 30. So that means for Jamaican Me Crazy, I have to take 3 times that, or 90 pounds of Jamaican Me Crazy coffee were used. Jamaican Me Crazy. Oh, sorry. You're making me crazy. We'll put the C there. And this would be my final answer here. Okay. Last one. This one said, in the lab, Sam has two solutions that contain alcohol, and he is mixing them with each other. Solution A is 40% alcohol, and solution B is 12% alcohol. He uses 300 milliliters of solution A. How many milliliters of solution B does he use if the resulting mixture is 24% alcohol solution? So I need to go in here and figure out, again, I'm looking and I have my two things that I'm looking at are solution A and solution B. So those are going to be what I want to write on the top. So hold on, let me get my pen when I do my chart. And then they're giving me information about solution A and about solution B. So I'm going to write, whoops, not in highlighter. So I have solution A, I have solution B, and I have to have a total. Now the things that they give me information about are percent alcohol. So I'm going to have my percent alcohol, the amount that I have, and then the total. So let's go ahead and identify these things. So our two solutions, solution A and solution B. We have a percent alcohol and our amount. And they want an, okay. So let me finish drawing my chart here. Okay, so for solution A, it says I have a 40%. So remember, when we're writing percent, when we use percent in an equation, we have to write it as a decimal. So 40% is the same as 0.40, and 12% is the same as 0.12, and you can even write 0.40 and 0.12 if you want. It says the resulting mixture is 24, so this is where I use that 24. They give me the percent of the mixture. That's what goes in this box right here, the one that we haven't used yet. Okay, then it tells me he uses 300 milliliters of solution A. So 300 milliliters of solution A goes here. And how many milliliters of solution B does he use? If the resulting mixture is 24%. Okay, so we have to fill in the rest of the boxes. So they're asking us to find how much solution B. So I don't know how much that is. Here's what I do know. To make my solutions, when I'm making a mixture of solutions, I want you to imagine in one hand you have a beaker of solution A, and the other hand you have a beaker of solution B, and you pour them into joint container, and that makes a new solution. So I'm combining them together. So that means the total amount that I have is 300 plus X, because I'm adding this plus this to be my total in the new beaker that I have. Okay, now to find the total, here, remember we multiply the percent times the amount. So here I'm going to multiply, I'm going to just zoom this in so it fits in, 0.40 times 300. In this next box here, I have to multiply the percent times the amount. So this one would be 0.12 times X. And in my last box here, I have to multiply the percent times the amount. So 0.24 times 300 plus X. Okay, now, if we think of this, we know that we already talked about that solution A plus solution B is going to equal my mixture. So I have to add together the bottoms just like I did before. So I'm going to use this whole pink bottom line. So I'm going to add these together and say 0.40 times 300 plus 0.12 times x equals 0.24 times 300 plus x. Okay, now we got to do our math here. So we got 0.40 times 300 is going to give me 120 plus 0.12x equals, and I'm going to distribute this 0.24. So I got 0.24 times 300 is going to give me 72 plus 0.24x. Okay, now I need all of my x's on one side and my constants on the other side. I'm going to move my constants to the left. So I'm going to subtract 72 from both sides. So I get 120 minus 72 is equal to 48. So 48 plus 0.12 is equal to 0.24x. Okay, now I need to move my x's, so to do that I'm going to subtract 0.12x from both sides. So I get 48 is equal to 0.12x. And to get x on the side by itself, I have to divide by 0.12. So I get over here 48 divided by 0.12 gives me 400. Okay, so 400, if I come back up here, is what I wanted to find the amount of my solution B, and they had how many milliliters of solution B does he use. So this would be my final answer. I know these are really tricky problems. You really have to think to work them out. So always remember, draw a chart, and then the things that go on the top of the chart are the things that they give you your two pieces of information for. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to help you. But good luck and do your best, and don't give up. I know these are tricky. Good luck.